When it comes to relationships, it can sometimes be very hard to know when to walk away from a person that we're with. Maybe you're trying to teach them and show them a better way of living, or you're trying to lead them in a certain direction. But sometimes the person that we're with are comfortably stuck where they are. They're stuck in their own wilderness. Maybe you're trying to encourage them to develop a stronger relationship with God. Maybe you're trying to encourage them to go back to school, or perhaps you find yourself working harder to find a better job than they're working. When we find ourselves constantly trying to push or lead someone into a lifestyle or a direction that they clearly do not want or not ready for, tough decisions have to be made. We have to decide if we're going to stay or if we're going to leave that relationship right there in the wilderness. I'm going to read this scripture real quick. It's Numbers 14:31. It says, "As for your children that you said will be taken as plunder, I will bring them to enjoy the land you have rejected. But as for you, your bodies will fall in this wilderness." You see, throughout the journey to the promised land, the children of Israel complained and bickered. They constantly asked to go back to Egypt. They even tried to bring Egypt with them when they made these false gods and worshiped them. It got to the point where God was frustrated with them and he was tired of their distrust and their contempt. And he told them that our relationship will wither right here in this wilderness because of their attitudes and because of their behaviors. You see, people only change when they really have the heart to change. Despite all the miracles that God performed, despite the promises that he made, despite the fact that he took them out of slavery, none of that really mattered to them because they were still stuck in their own wilderness mentally and physically. They were stuck. So often we connect with people that's just like the Israelites. We end, we end up with people that are stuck in their own wilderness. Maybe they're used to a certain toxic lifestyle that we try to pull them out of. Maybe they've never been exposed to anything different and we try to show them something different, but they're not ready. Maybe they make decisions about relationships and they never been in a mature drama free relationship, so they don't know how to function, and we try to teach them, but they keep going back and they're stuck in that cycle. In those times we have to make the decision. Are we going to stay in that relationship and spend our time, our energy, and all our efforts trying to pull them out of the mud? Or will we leave them stuck in the wilderness? There's times in my life where I've been stuck in my own wilderness and I've tried to pull people out that were stuck. And what I've realized, it doesn't matter how supportive you are, how caring you are, how encouraging you are, or you can be damn near enabling. A person will not change unless they're ready to change. We don't have the power to change anyone. I once heard someone say that you should never spend the best years of your life trying to pull out the best in someone else that don't want the best for themselves. You see, but as you read in that scripture, or as I read in that scripture, it says, your children will see the promised land. And the same goes for us. The same goes for you. Even though you might have been with someone that rejected all the things that you bring into their lives because they weren't ready or they just didn't want it, if you stay faithful, God will one day bring someone to your life that will cherish what you bring and they deserve what you bring. So just keep the faith and stay positive and know that sometimes we have to make the tough decision whether to leave them stuck in the wilderness or walk away. God bless. If you're looking for more devotionals like this comes from my book, From Relational Hurt to Spiritual Healing. You can contact me and I can send you a signed copy. Have a great one.